Hey, what's up guys, and welcome in this new tutorial where I'm gonna show you some interesting tech house vocals processing techniques. So before starting with this tutorial, I would like to remind you that all of the samples are from our new sample pack Roomba Volume 3, which is a Latin tech house sample pack that includes one-shots, loops, construction kit and much more that you can check out from the link in the description below. So let's start by listening to this really quick loop that we have here. Yeah, really basic, just a kick, bass line and a couple of drum loops. And this is the vocal that we're gonna use in this tutorial. So the first technique is something that you've probably already seen before on our channel and is gated vocals. So the easiest way to do this one is to open up the clip and go into the warp section, select this one here and then simply adjust the intensity from here. Let's have a listen on the drop. Another way that we can do this one is with the autopan. So we're gonna take the autopan, we are gonna take the phase to 0 and we are simply gonna increase the amount. So like this is a bit more subtle than the previous one, but it's also very effective. A third way that we can do this thing is by using white noise as a trigger. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply load a quick white noise sample. We can go here in the Ableton samples and select the bright white, and we're gonna create like really quick loop, something like this. So we're gonna put the sustain down. Maybe we're gonna make the notes a bit shorter. And we're gonna load a gate on the vocal, so something like this. And we're gonna select at the sidechain trigger the white noise. So this is how it sounds. We can add some more notes to make it a bit more interesting. Yeah, and these are the three main ways that you can add gated vocals. The next tip is gonna be layering. So here also you have quite a few options. The first one is to simply duplicate the first track. We're gonna select complex and we are simply gonna change the semitones. Let's try -6. You can also see Complex Pro. And here, as you can see, we are playing a bit with the formants. You can also go +6. Yeah, like this. Another way that we can do this one is by adding an audio effect track. So we're going into utilities, audio effect track. So first thing is gonna be the dry chain, and then we're gonna add the pitch chain. So there are a few plugins that we can use the sound shifter pitch from Waves Good, and from here we can change the semitones. As you can see from here, we are mixing in the pitched vocal. Obviously here you can apply a totally different processing, so for example we can add a bit of EQ. Can add a bit of chorus. Yeah, and that's basically the idea with the layering. So these are the two main options. Then moving on, we have the vocal chops. This one again, it's super simple. So we're gonna use a free Ableton plugin which is called Roser. We're gonna put it here, and we're gonna add the vocal loop on the same channel, and we're gonna select slice. So basically this is just a sequencer which will create automatically some random loops with the different pieces of the vocal. So let's hear an example. So we already did the tutorial on this plugin, however, these are the really quick things that you have to know. So basically with notes, you can select on random and it will randomize the pattern. Same thing with octave, you select random and it will randomly change the octave, velocity and gate. These are the basic 4 settings that you need to create this kind of loop, and then you can also automate some parameters and much more, but this is basically all that you need. You can also combine these with the previous gated vocal techniques that we covered, so you have to activate the warp and we can change the envelope here. And yeah, basically this is the easiest way to do vocal chops for tech house. Another thing that you can do is using the vocal as a percussion. So the best way to do this one is to open up a drum rack, and we're gonna put the vocal here, and basically you can do it manually. So you can basically select all these little pieces and assign them to one of each pads. You can select the one you want. For this tutorial I'm just gonna do 3 of them. So it's really similar to the vocal chops technique, but this time we are creating the loop. So let's add the MIDI, and yeah, let's simply create a really quick loop here. The next technique is gonna be glitches. So the easiest way is to use a plugin called Glitch 2. So as you can see, you have different effects. You can also randomize everything here. So this also can be really helpful. So let's have a listen with this stock preset. So this is way too aggressive. I suggest to put the overall mix at around 70 to 60%, something like this. And then we are gonna initialize, so create everything from 0. This basically creates the gate effect that we have already seen in this tutorial. Then we can add the stretcher. So yeah, this is by far the easiest and quickest way to create this kind of glitches, and this stuff is really used, for example, in a lot of solid grooves style production. Another thing that can come really helpful in tech house is to create some atmosphere out of the vocal. So to do that, we have first of all to select the right part. So let's take this one for example. So we can create this loop, something like this. We have to reduce the volume and we have to add quite a lot of reverb. Also a bit of EQ to remove the lows. So, and this is just a really quick way to add some ambience and atmosphere to the vocal and just to make this breakdown section a bit fuller. And the last tip that we have for today is how to create the phone effect for vocal here in Ableton. So this is actually really easy. You just have to go on the EQ8. You should have a preset which is called Vocal A here in the Format section, and this kind of does almost all of the job here. And then we can combine it with a bit of saturation, for example. Or with some overdrive, maybe it's even better. Yeah, and basically this is all for this tutorial, where I showed you some interesting tech house vocal processing techniques to make your vocals a bit more unique and a bit more special. Don't forget to check out the Roomba Volume 3 from the link in the description below. Also, let us know what tutorials would you like to see next, and I'll see you soon. Bye!